What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I am DJ, aka Token Black. I'm here for the first time. Hit that like button, subscribe button. So I'm still on my little surgery hiatus. So I'm kind of, you know, trying to get comfortable in this chair and everything. But I did manage to pop a pain pill today and go sit down for 2 hours in a nice, comfortable, reclining theater and checked out the new Marvel film, Fantastic Four. Want to give my quick rundown and thoughts of my initial thoughts of the movie. This will be a non-spoiler, no spoilers in this one. But I will discuss kind of about what I like and don't like and everything. But again, so this has been the month of the big three. We had Jurassic Park, Superman, and now to round it off into the month of July is Fantastic Four, and this movie. I would I was I'm going to say this, but but not like fully. It had a lot right on it, especially with Marvel. With the I wouldn't say failure, but the not as successful Captain America and Thunderbolts movie not bringing home the box office. Not saying there weren't good movies, because I enjoyed both of those movies, but they just Marvel has lost a lot of steam, and this has been the Fantastic Four is kind of a I wouldn't say reset, but let's catch our breath and restart with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because it's going to lean into to Doomsday and all the other Avengers movies and everything. So it had a lot right on the shoulders for some characters that we've seen multiple times already with the Jessica Alba ones, and then the fan Forsick, whatever that garbage movie. So I personally enjoyed the first installment of the Fantastic Four, a guilty pleasure. It was that 1993-94 when I never got released. But that said, let's get to the movie. I will say, off the rip, just to get go, I enjoyed the movie. The movie, it is it had feelings of like the start of Marvel, like Iron Man, Thor, and stuff, where it wasn't heavy on you had to watch all the other movies to understand the plots and everything. Actually, you could actually watch this movie and not know anything about the rest of the Marvel universe, because it's kind of a its own separate thing. With that said, it does at the end you'll see where it's going. But no, I enjoyed the movie. I thought that it was well written. I love the aesthetic of it. The whole 1960s futuristic, kind of has technology, advanced, got the Jetsons vibe to it. I really love that whole aesthetic it had to the movie. I thought Vanessa Kirby was a standout. Her acting was amazing. Pedro Pascal, the kid who played Johnny Storm and Ben, they all did good. But I do believe that Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, she was a standout. Is take the lead in the movie? No, it was kind of a back and forth, but I would say between her and Reed Richards, they both were leaders in their own aspect. Whereas Johnny and Ben were more the second string, but Sue and Reed, they balanced it. They took charge when they needed to be get charged. Like they like a good couple does. You know your strengths, your weaknesses. So when it's time for you to take charge, take back seat. So they kind of play out that, and you see what the whole with. It's always been a term with the Fantastic Four, the whole family thing, with it. I thought Silver Surfer was good. I wish I would have seen a little bit more of Silver Surfer, especially towards the end of the movie. But I thought she looked great. Thought the acting was good. Galactus looked amazing, especially in certain scenes. I do think I didn't see it in IMAX, but I think if you saw it in IMAX, you'll get a big idea of how the scale of him is and everything. I will say one nitpick I have, and not really a nitpick, is it there wasn't as much action as most. I mean, like when the action scenes happened, it was good, but there was a lot of in between action. Like you had a beginning and middle fight scene, and then the big battle at the end. Wish a little bit more action. Everyone showed off their powers a lot, except for pretty much Reed Richards. I wish I would have saw more of him using his powers, especially. I mean, you saw it at the end of the movie, but Sue, Ben, he's all Johnny his powers, but pretty much every scene he uses powers. But I will say the story is more written. It's a well written movie. I think the writing of it is amazing. Like it paces good. It's not if you're looking for a big like blockbuster, blow things up and everything. It's not that type of movie. It's a good to me. It's a good sci-fi mixed with little superhero movies and the science aspect of it. I really enjoy that. They have a black hole scene that I think is really cool looking. Reminds me of that movie. God, what's it called? Interstellar. That scene. They talk about time dilation and everything. I thought the plot was good. The storyline it was pretty much predictable for the sense of everything, but that's not a bad thing. You know, most of these movies you kind of if you watch a bunch, you kind of predict what's going to happen. There's one spot at the end when something happens with a character, and I knew what was going to happen before it happened, but it didn't take away from that moment. It actually, it dove into the story more. What else? Nitpicks. Like I said, not that much action. I thought. I thought there wasn't a lot of space stuff. You know, in a sense, they had one scene, but it's more grounded. I wish I got more of the world 828, which I saw was it's not a spoiler, but they're set in their universe is 828, which is a nod to Kirby. That's his birthday, is August 28th. That was his birthday, so that's where they set the world in. So that was pretty cool. I'm off the top of my head. I saw the movie about what 4 hours ago. I There were a couple characters stood out. The robot cool. He was pretty funny. But not a lot of. It wasn't very jokey in this movie compared to like other movies. Which I didn't mind. I thought the movie was well written. It wanted of the movies this year, as far as Marvel goes, it's the best written Marvel movie that they had so far this year. I think it's the best Marvel movie that they put out this year. Honestly, I and that's I mean not saying a lot, but it knocks Thunderbolts in Captain America out the water. So uh, as far as being a good movie and successful, it's a good movie and successful. Now the box office numbers, that's going to be a different story. We'll see at the end of the weekend. I hope it does good because Marvel needs it. But all in all, I think it's a good movie. I was asked, people ask me, is it better than Superman? I'm not going to say it's better. I'm not going to say it's worse. I enjoy both these movies for different reasons. They're different movies. I would gladly watch either of these movies over again. Honestly, I that's what I'm going to say. I don't think one is better than the other. They have different. For example, I think Superman had more action than this movie, but this was a better written movie than Superman. That makes sense. But I would watch both of these over in a heartbeat. I enjoyed both those movies. Like I said, the box office numbers is what I guess makes a movie successful or not nowadays. I guess, which yes and no in my opinion. But that said, let's talk about rating. What am I going to rate this movie? If I had to rate it out of 10, I will give this movie a solid. I'm gonna give it a 8. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought the whole theme of family was good. I thought the pacing was good in the movie. I love the aesthetic. Wish it was a little more action. A little more action. But with that said, I thought the movie was well written. Oh, end credit scenes. I've been preaching this for a long time since the after phase, 3 or 4. No connectivity. There's 2 end credit scenes. Don't worry about the second one, but that first end credit scene is what I've been asking for the longest, and they did it right. That is how you do an end credit scene to lead towards the future, Marvel. Get back to what you're doing. It was simple, but it was powerful. That's all they had to do, and it made sense. So I am happy for that, and that's why I think this movie was a success. Because if this is what it gets Marvel back on track, the connectivity, what we used to live for the end credit scenes, and why you went to watch this movie to see what happens in that movie, and blah blah blah. So hopefully this is a stare back in the right direction with this. But that first end credit scene is what sent me, the rating went up on this movie. That one, and it's a quick, about a minute and a half, maybe a minute long scene, and there's very little dialogue, especially toward the end. But when it shows, it's very impactful, and that's what Marvel needed. So bravo to y'all for that, and that's why I gave the movie an 8. Yeah, so that's my like little non spoiler, just off the head review. We'll dive in it more this Sunday on Storms Live. I may do a live stream tomorrow. We might just dive in and do some spoilers and everything, see how it goes. But yeah, leave your thoughts down below. If you haven't seen the movie just yet, are you going to this weekend? What are your thoughts on Marvel's state and everything? If you have seen the movie, no spoilers, but let me know what you thought. Give me a rating, yay, nay. 8 out of 10 out of 10. 1 through 10, what you rate it. Don't spoil it for people who haven't seen it until after the weekend. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions. Go check the movie out. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Yeah. So then, guys, I will see you when I see you. Peace.